They were the queens of the silver screen, draped in diamonds, adored by millions, and followed by flashing cameras everywhere they went. But behind the glitz, the fame, and the picture-perfect smiles were secrets Hollywood never wanted you to know. These women didn't just fall in love, they fell hard, fast, and sometimes fatally. Some married 8 times, some wed their sister's ex. One was murdered, another died completely alone without even her child by her side. What really happened behind closed doors of those luxurious mansions and red carpet marriages? Why did the world only see the beauty, but never the breakdowns, the heartbreaks, scandals, secret affairs, violent fights, and quiet separations? Every headline had a truth hidden beneath. If you think old Hollywood was all glitter and glamour, think again. The real stories were darker, messier, and more human than any script ever written. These are the untold love stories that rewrote the meaning of happily ever after. Don't blink. One name in this list hides the most shocking secret of all. Can you guess who? Judy's tragedy. Judy Garland was one of the brightest stars in Hollywood. Born on June 10, 1922, she became world famous for her role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. But while millions admired her on screen, Judy's real life was full of pain. Behind her beautiful smile were battles with depression, addiction, and heartbreak. She married 5 times, hoping to find love and peace, but each marriage brought new problems. Her first husband was composer David Rose. She married him at just 19, but the studio didn't approve, and they divorced in 1944. Her second marriage was to director Vincent Minnelli. They had a daughter, Liza Minnelli, in 1946. But Judy's mental health struggles and rumors about Vincent's sexuality caused tension. They divorced in 1951. Her third husband, producer Seth Luft, helped her make a big comeback in A Star Is Born, 1954. But their marriage also had problems: alcohol, drugs, and violence. They split in 1965. That same year, she married actor Mark Herron, but he was later revealed to be gay. Their marriage lasted just 5 months and ended with claims of physical abuse. Her final marriage was to nightclub manager Mickey Deans in 1969. He was 12 years younger, and their relationship was trouble from the start. Just 3 months after they got married, Judy died alone in a bathroom in London. The cause: an overdose of barbiturates. She was only 47 years old. None of her husbands were with her when she passed away, not even her daughter Lisa. Judy Garland lived a life filled with talent, hope, and deep sadness. She gave the world her voice, her soul, and her story. But in the end, fame couldn't save her from her own demons. Her life is a reminder that even the biggest stars can feel lonely in the spotlight. Swanson's power. Gloria Swanson wasn't just a beautiful actress. She was a symbol of strength, ambition, and independence in a time when women in Hollywood were expected to stay quiet and controlled. Born on March 27, 1899, she rose to fame during the silent film era and later stunned audiences in Sunset Boulevard. But behind the glamour, her personal life was filled with drama, heartache, and courage. Gloria married 6 times. Her first marriage was at just 17 to actor Ernest Torrance. It ended 2 years later with rumors of abuse and even a claim that he gave her drugs to cause an abortion without her permission. In 1919, she married Herbert K. Somborn, a restaurant owner. They had 1 daughter, but the marriage ended in a very public and painful divorce by 1922. That same year, she surprised everyone by marrying French aristocrat Henri de la Falaise. The match made headlines, but their different lifestyles and values tore them apart by 1931. Her fourth husband, British actor Michael Farmer, came into her life during the Great Depression. Their marriage lasted only 3 years, strained by financial issues. In 1945, she married businessman William Davey, but it ended quickly. Her final and most peaceful relationship came much later in life when she married writer William Dufty in 1976. This time, she found true companionship. They shared a love for health, writing, and calm living. They stayed together until she passed away in 1983. Gloria's love life was full of ups and downs, but through it all, she stayed strong. She wasn't just a movie star. She was one of the first women in Hollywood to take control of her own career, even producing her own films. People saw her as a glamorous diva, but she was much more: a survivor, a pioneer, and a woman who lived life on her own terms. Hedy's genius. Hedy Lamarr was known as the most beautiful woman in the world, but her real power was not just her looks, it was her brilliant mind. Born in 1914 in Vienna, she lived a life filled with both glamour and struggle. She was married 6 times, often trying to escape controlling men or emotional emptiness. Her first marriage was to Fritz Mandl, a rich weapons dealer connected to dangerous political groups. He tried to control her life completely, even buying copies of her old movie to hide her nude scenes. Hedy couldn't take it anymore, so she ran away from both the marriage and Austria. She escaped dressed as a maid, beginning a new life in Hollywood. In Hollywood, she married a screenwriter, but it didn't last. Her third husband, a British actor, gave her a daughter, but they also divorced. She later married a nightclub owner, a rich oil baron, and finally a lawyer, but none of the marriages gave her the peace or respect she wanted. While the world focused on her beauty, Hedy was secretly working on a radio technology to help the military. In 1942, she co-invented a system that would later become the foundation for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. At that time, no one took her seriously. Hedy died in 2000, but not as a forgotten star. Today, people respect her not just for her looks, but for the genius that helped change the world. O'Neill's Storm. Jennifer O'Neill was a model and actress who looked like she had it all: beauty, fame, and success. But her love life was a storm full of ups and downs. Born in 1948 in Brazil, she became famous for her role in Summer of 42. Behind the scenes, though, she had 9 marriages with 8 different men. Her first marriage was at 17 to Dean Rossiter, with whom she had a daughter, but their marriage ended after 6 years. Then came a series of quick relationships. One lasted 2 years, another just 1. She married a producer, then John Lederer, a man she had a very difficult relationship with. During a heated fight, Jennifer accidentally shot herself in the stomach. The news shocked the entire country. She later married Richard Brown, not once, but twice. Her last and most peaceful marriage was to Mervyn Sidney Luce Jr. in 1996. That one finally brought her some calm. But Jennifer's true turning point didn't come from any man. In 1988, after all the pain and heartbreak, she found peace through faith. She became a born-again Christian, stepped away from the spotlight, and opened a healing center for veterans using courses. Her story is not just about love and loss, it's about finding yourself after the storm. Jennifer O'Neill's greatest love story was the one she wrote for herself, through healing and hope. Kudrow's Calm. In a world full of short Hollywood romances, Lisa Kudrow's love story is something special. Born in 1963, Lisa became super famous as Phoebe in the hit show Friends. While many celebrities had messy breakups and public drama, Lisa kept her personal life calm and private. She met Michael Stern, a French advertising executive, in the late 1980s, but he was dating her roommate. Lisa liked him, but she respected boundaries and never acted on her feelings. Years later, fate brought them together again, this time both single. They quickly connected over shared values and a good sense of humor. They got engaged in 1994, just as Friends was becoming a global success. In 1995, they married in a small, quiet ceremony. No paparazzi, no red carpets. In 1998, they had a son named Julian. While Lisa became a star, Michael stayed out of the spotlight. She has often said that his support and grounded nature helped her stay sane during the chaos of fame. Unlike many Hollywood couples, they didn't chase glamour. They built a simple, strong marriage. Lisa's story proves that in an industry full of noise, true love can still be quiet, steady, and real. Her calm, drama-free love life is a rare and beautiful thing in the world of celebrities. Magda's drama. Magda Gabor, the oldest of the glamorous Gabor sisters, lived a life full of beauty, luxury, and drama. Born in 1914 in Budapest, Hungary, Magda had charm, style, and a love life that often became front-page news. She got married 6 times, and each story was filled with mystery, surprise, or scandal. Her first marriage in 1946 was to a playwright, but it didn't last even 3 years. In 1949, she married a lawyer, but that ended quickly too. Her longest and most meaningful relationship was with Arthur Tony Gutman, a construction executive. They were together for 11 years, and when he passed away in 1967, Magda was heartbroken. But the most talked about moment in her romantic life came in 1970 when she married George Sanders, who had been married to her sister, Sadasa. The marriage lasted only 1 month before it was annulled. Still, the headlines exploded with gossip. She married one last time in 1972, but it ended in divorce after 3 years. Through all her marriages, Magda never disappeared from the spotlight. She attended glamorous parties, charity events, and always carried herself with grace and confidence, even when her name was in the tabloids. Magda Gabor wasn't just part of the Hollywood scene. She was a performance of elegance and scandal all rolled into one. Meryl's Bond. Meryl Streep is known around the world for her amazing acting, but behind the fame and awards was a quiet love story that lasted decades. Born in 1949, Meryl met sculptor Don Gummer in 1978 during a very painful time. She had just lost her partner, actor John Cazale, to cancer. Heartbroken, she moved into Don's apartment just for some peace. But something unexpected happened. Within 6 months, Meryl and Don got married, but their bond was strong. They understood each other deeply and gave space to grow. As Meryl's career exploded with movies like Sophie's Choice and The Devil Wears Prada, Don stayed in the background, raising their 4 kids and focusing on his own work as an artist. They avoided Hollywood parties and gossip. Their love was real and private. For over 40 years, they stayed together. No scandals, no headlines. But in 2023, Meryl revealed they had quietly lived separate lives for 6 years. There was no anger, no fighting, just an understanding that life had changed. Their story is not about a perfect fairy tale. It's about real love, sometimes close, sometimes distant, but always respectful. In a world full of broken celebrity marriages, Meryl and Don's bond showed that love can grow, change, and still remain meaningful. Rue's heart. Rue McClanahan made millions laugh as the fun and flirty Blanche on The Golden Girls, but her real life was just as emotional and dramatic as her on-screen character. Born in 1934, Rue believed in love deeply, even when it hurt. She was married 6 times, and each marriage was a chapter of hope, heartbreak, and growth. Her first marriage was in 1958 to actor Tom Bish, and they had a son named Mark, but the marriage ended in just 1 year. In 1962, she married her college sweetheart Norman Hartwig. It lasted 7 years, but eventually they grew apart. Her third marriage was to director Peter DeMaio. It was full of control and arguments and ended in 1971. In 1976, she married a businessman named Gus Fisher, but it didn't work out either. Her 5th marriage to Tom Keel also ended quickly after money troubles and court battles. But Rue never gave up on love. In 1997, she married actor and writer Marl Wilson. This time, she finally found peace. Their relationship was private but strong, and they stayed together until her death in 2010. Rue once said, "You don't go into marriage thinking it won't work. You go in hoping this time is forever." She believed in love, no matter how many times her heart was broken. That's what made her story so real and so full of heart. Old Hollywood was never just about fame. It was a battlefield of love, loss, and survival. Behind every diamond ring was a shattered heart, and behind every photo op was a tear never seen by the world. These women lived through more than just their roles. They lived through real pain, powerful comebacks, and unforgettable love stories. But wait, this isn't the end of the secrets. If you thought these stories were wild, our next video will take you even deeper into the world of mystery and hidden truths. Coming up next, what the FBI found inside Rick Harrison's mansion will leave you speechless. Trust us, you won't believe what was uncovered. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and don't miss the truth they never wanted you to hear.